Hey guys, it's Mark and Paul again on the road. This time we're not going south, we're going north to Des Moines, Iowa. As you saw from the previous little videos that Andy just put on there of us bidding on this car, this is probably the weirdest car purchase so far as getting it bought. Just very strange. I'm hoping that there's not something weird with the car, because we bought it 2 or 3 times for the 8,000s. Then lost it at 10,000 something, and ended up buying it at 6,300. And this car is weird because it's a SCCA T2 edition Solstice, which there's only 88 of them made. And Pontiac got killed. They stopped at 88 of them. The car was a burn car, is what it's listed at in the auction. But when you look at the car on the auction, is all nice and clean and pretty in the auction photos, but when you look at this, and this is a 360 view of when Copart got the car into them, this is what it looked like when they got it. So if you notice, the outside is all kind of like black and looks like it's been in a fire. There's snow on the ground, so it's been there a while. There's snow like on the car. It doesn't look like it's like dirty salt road stuff on the car. It looks like it's black from the fire. And if you look on the inside here, there is rubble on this car. I mean, there's like burnt, charred stuff sitting on the seats. There's no mileage listed on the car because I guess you can't see I don't know if the dash is fried or what. It looks like the dash has some kind of burned areas on it, but the car just looks in really bad shape on the inside. But then later on, when it was listed and cleaned up, the inside looks pretty good. So we'll see if it smells really bad on the inside. And I don't know how it got all that in it, unless it was burnt. It was in a garage somewhere. The garage caught on fire, and the top was down because the top doesn't look like it has any kind of damage on it, and the stuff just fell into the car. You know, that could have been. And also, there's engine damage, it looks like from the photos, to where around the turbo area it's all kind of black. And so I don't know if there's something fell, if the hood might have been up in the garage and something hot fell down in there and burnt that, maybe scorched the wires. Maybe that's why we don't have a mileage on the dash. But there's just a lot of oddball stuff with this car, so I'm hoping it's not a bad experience. But we bought wrecked cars, we just bought the Crossfire flooded car, and so now we're going to try a burnt car. So this is a super small Copart. I was the only person in there. We've been here 5 minutes and I've already got my paperwork and they're bringing the car out. So far so good, right? From the fire, but it just wipes off. That's soot.
Oh.
So, you ready to see what this looks like? Definitely smell smoke. There's ash. But that's all like, yeah, at the top is like it had to have been down when whatever happened. So we'll just have to see if the seats will clean up. I can't tell. They're not burnt, but they might really be stained or stinky. Does that actually work?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's like a miracle. Don't break it, Paul.
I quit. Might have just been a heavy smoker.
Well, we stopped to get gas and we couldn't stand it anymore, so we're going to see if we can put some power on this thing and at least see if it's got mileage. Oh, we got power. It's definitely doing some kind of, it's got a check engine light and not showing any kind of This special edition of the Pontiac Solstice is the rarest Solstice Pontiac manufactured. It was created to commemorate the back-to-back Sports Car Club of America, or SCCA, victories in 2006 and 2007. There were two versions of the special edition Solstice created. The model celebrating the SSB, or Showroom Stock B class, was a naturally aspirated base model Solstice outfitted with special graphics and embroidered SSB seats. All of the SSB editions came in red only. The other version, known as the T2, celebrates the victory in the Touring 2 or T2 class. These are the GXP cars, which sport a 2.0-liter turbocharged engine producing 260 horsepower. The T2s only came in yellow and had special graphics and T2 embroidered titanium two-tone seats. From the research we have done, we believe that at the time of Pontiac's demise in April 2009, 137 SSB models and 88 T2 models had rolled off the assembly line. So if we can return this car to its former glory, we'll have saved a rare 1 in 88 little piece of Pontiac history. Well, we finally made it home. We got home late last night and I went ahead and hooked up the charger, a little trickle charger, to the battery just to see if we could get it charged enough to put the booster on it and maybe see, either get it started or see if we can see mileage. So it's definitely crusty under here, but they had it in the pictures and it's listed as a run and drive, so it should start. I just hope there's not a whole lot of wiring problems, so let's see if we can get some juice to it. No, nothing. Well, since we can't start it, we might as well see if there's anything in the trunk. That works. So I thought the trunk is mint. So the top was definitely in the trunk when the fire happened, because I mean there's like, it's just got flint and stuff on it, but it's like not damaged at all. Hey, it's even got the compressor. So we just have to figure out what's going on, why it won't turn over. It could be a fuse or something. Okay, so the OBD2 port is working. It's connected to it, so let's see if we can do a scan here. Well, this is what I get. I can't find any codes that it's throwing. So, and it's so weird that everything in here works. Like all the lights, the windows go up and down, the mirrors work, the power locks, the wipers, the radio, the AC, everything. It just won't crank over when you try to turn the key. So have to keep on investigating. Okay guys, we're going to try something different this week for our t-shirt giveaway winner. We have 5 baseballs, and everybody that entered to win, we have their name written on the balls. We have Bilster, Danny, Christy, Zach, and Brandon. So I'm going to throw these balls out in the yard, and whichever one good old Finn goes and picks up, then that is the winner. All right, Finn, you ready? You ready, Finn? Here we go. Go get one. Oh, what's he got? Come on. And chose Brandon. Brandon, you're the winner of the t-shirt this week.
Just send us an email, Brandon, and we'll get a t-shirt sent out to you with your contact info and all that stuff.
So here we are on the passenger side. This is the next day. And I've been doing a little bit of research online trying to figure out what can cause this everything to work in here but not crank. And there are some fuses that could cause this, or some people say that these things are really finicky on grounds, that a ground can cause weird stuff like that. So I don't know if, you know, what heat has done with the car, maybe when we don't have some kind of a good ground, but there's a fuse box down in the floorboard. I pulled this off just now, and you can see we've got like a corrosion going on underneath that fuse box. I don't know what could cause that down there. Surely it wasn't heat, but there's one fuse. It looks like it's got a corroded terminal on it. It just all looks kind of corroded. So I'm gonna see which one connects to like we've got a cluster. Number 7 is the cluster, and then 8 is the ignition switch. So those are all over in that left corner. It looked like it was corroded, so you never know, that could be part of it. So I'll check those fuses and make sure they're still good, and I'll investigate some more. All right, so every time I was doing anything with this engine, trying to figure out this electrical problem, I was just getting covered in black soot. So I started power washing it just to get where I'm not covered in soot all the time. I've done this side, and I still got to scrub like some areas down in there, all that aluminum, but most of it just blows off. So you see the cover. I've done this side, not the other side, but man, it's just everything's covered in black soot. I went ahead and threw out a floor mat just to see if it would clean up, and I power washed it, and it cleaned up really nice. Looks new, so that's a good sign. So while I'm waiting on the engine to dry, I've got it all clean. I think I'll go ahead and get in on this side and at least get the seat out. Man, it's like it was a blanket or something. A hat. Golfer. And a water bottle. Wish that would have been up where I could have put some of the fire out. So I'll try to get this seat out and then vacuum some of this out, and then we'll start looking and see what we're gonna have to do with these seats. And hopefully they're savable, because these are T2 seats. See the logo there? And I'm sure you cannot get these covers anywhere, since there's only 88 of these cars, so I have to try to save it. Anybody knows that like a really good leather cleaner, or what I should do to get the smoke out? Man, I have no idea how this car did not burn up. I mean, there's just drywall and burnt insulation just all behind the seat. I barely got it to move forward because of all the burnt stuff down in the track. So I did get the nuts off, so I'm gonna lift it up and try to unhook the seat belt, and then we can get the seat out. Well, there it is. Think that carpet's savable? We shall see. All right, so we've got the carpet out. And look around every bolt. We have corrosion. Those are the seat bolts. There's the airbag module bolts corroded. I pulled the plug logo and it's not corroded in there. The ones on the floor corroded there, even up to that bottom one there. It's almost like, I wonder if this thing got, if they used water to put the fire out or something in the house and it got water in here. This happened, this car was at Copart on January 5th, and this is June 24th, I think. So that's 6 months ago, over 6 months ago. So if there was any water in there, it would have definitely evaporated by now. And here we have the seat that's out. You can see a little bit better in the daylight. And then here's the carpet. Pretty sure I'm just going to power wash that. It's not got the foam on it. It's just got this stuff that's like these little layers, and I think it'll dry really fast if I put it out in the sun. It's not like the Crossfire we've been working on. So I'll power wash that and see how good it comes out. I'll take every nut and bolt that's corroded in here and get it out and either replace it or clean it. And I'm hoping it didn't get high enough on that fuse box to do anything. Maybe that could be our problem when we can't get it cranked. Well, the carpet has been power washed, and I'm pretty sure all that junk came out. Looks pretty good, actually. All right, so I've got this seat down in the bumper assembly facility in my basement. And I tried this little corner right here with some cleaner, and check it out. Ooh. It's actually mostly coming off of there, that smoke. So I'm gonna get busy and start working on this whole thing. And hopefully it will all come out. Now there it is after I've got it cleaned. The back turned out pretty good. The seat part has still got some spots that might have got hot or something. It's not burned through, but it's just still like there's little spots on it. So I know it's going to be impossible to find that seat. Yeah, I kind of forgot to tell you guys this, but the more I looked at this, this is the body control module, the BCM, here in the footwell of the Solstice. And the more I got to looking at it from the front side, it just looked like too much corrosion. And so I went ahead and removed it. There was no corrosion in these front 3 connectors. But then when I turned around back, the bottom of that thing, it had a ton of corrosion in it. So I'm gonna try to clean it, reinstall it and see what it does, but it might be one of those things, like you can see right here, where that corrosion is. It might be one of those things that I have to chip it off and see if I can get it repaired. All right, so I pulled the lockout tab and started to move these wires, and this one was just fell off. So it's so corroded in there that it actually took the end off of the wire. So that has to be part of our non-cranking starting problem. It's got to be. Then we'll have to find a new end and reinstall it on that wire. Well, that wasn't too hard to get out. There's where that thing was. I just touched it with a little instrument and it just fell out. That's what was left of it. It's a green blob of powder. Well, bad news, because the connection that was in the car that I showed you a while ago that was just green and just disintegrated and was gone is supposed to go on the tab that is right there, and there is no tab. So obviously it disintegrated that too, where it just was gone. So I guess this thing is toast. So I'm gonna have to go on to the next step, figure out how to get another BCM and somehow get it programmed to the car. Okay, so an update on the body control module. I went ahead and ordered a brand new one from the dealer, and it is coming in probably tomorrow or the next day, and I've got a guy that can program that for me. And then I also went ahead and ordered a used one off eBay that still had this plug in it. And so I'm going to take it off of the used one and repair that connection there where I've got the exact one that I know for sure that's what it is. And then once I get that connected all back up, we can put the new one in and then you can reprogram it. So that's about all we can do for there now until we get all the parts in. Thanks for watching this episode of Rebuild It, guys. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. And make sure you are a subscriber down below and you hit the bell. Ben and I really appreciate it. And hopefully next week you'll see some big changes on the Solstice. And hopefully we have it drivable. So we will see you next week.
And always remember, don't retire it if you can rebuild it. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in and watching this week's episode of Rebuild It. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any awesome content. Have a good one.